Here we go. All right, here we go. We got Christian Nickel and Gabe Nickel going against Joyce McLaren and Kevin. Kevin and Joyce coming out of Denver, and Christian and Gabe coming out of Four Seasons. Red was a little deep on their first one, so yellow just needs to stick it on the nose here. And that's what they do. It's going to be a tough one for red to get out. Might be early on for the end to give yellow one here, so let's see if they can come up with something. This is definitely going to have to be a setup shot, probably freeze. Needs to curl a little bit to be a setup shot. It's a little deep. That gives yellow a chance to put another one right on top. Just has to make sure not to set up a double here. I don't think they can just because it's their first one's just tucked away. Might be a bit heavy. They're not sweeping. If they can freeze on this red, that'd be really good. And a little tap. Yellow's sitting all right just because both of them are above the T line. But red has the chance to play a better setup shot this time and get something going. Hopefully turn the tables here and get some offense going. It's a heavy throw. It looks like they're going for the takeout. Puts the yellow one behind the T line, but it's a lonely red right on the button. This might give an opening for Denver. They're looking at just tapping that red one back farther past the T line, and that would give them two more right above the T line. The one that's hurting Denver is that one that's right behind the T line, though. That yellow one gives Four Seasons a spot to sit. Right by. It looks like it's enough weight to tap it back, too. Yellow's sitting three. Red can definitely hit here, or they could just freeze on that back one. Hitting might be the right call to start, just because they have three in there right now. And if you miss the freeze, it's more aggressive. So it's looking like a heavy weight. Peel weight. He's looking to remove at least two. On just a slight nick of the guard. This is going to give yellow a chance to put up something maybe in the 4 foot, 8 foot. You can't block each side. That's what's tough about doubles. When you miss one shot, it puts you in trouble. Joyce lining up for her last stone. Not sweeping, so it might be a little heavy. That's not what they needed. Is it going to slow down? It's actually in an alright spot. Could have been just a little higher. Gives red the chance to hit a double out and give yellow two. Or try to draw through that pocket. I'm not sure if that pocket's wide enough though. There might be an inside double to hit the top two reds and roll to the button. Is what it looks like they're looking at. Just need the right weight now. It makes it tricky with that guard that's still up there. This could be for shot, or it could just be to give red or give yellow one. Just depends on where they hit this and how much weight. This is Christian's last shot coming out of Four Seasons. Looks like a lighter takeout. It might be a little wide. He's come to the other side to push it over. They got one out of there, so it looks like just three. It's a big steal for Kevin and Joyce. watched a couple of Christian games. They'll definitely get better and better each chance. It's a good game. Christian and Gabe are 3-0 right now for 4 seasons. So they have a strong record. I would not be surprised that this is going to be a very close game. Joyce just nicked the guard. It's never good for mixed doubles first shot, but it's still a long end for this one. If they can put one, if Red can put one top 8, that'd be really good. Puts another one in the house. Yellow can't hit the double off yet. It's a dangerous spot. Or they could wrap around one of their own hands. It's a little light. They're both sweeping. Perfect shot right around the yellow. Red's in a great position now to come back after that 3-point steal. Kevin coming up with his first shot. If he can put it right on the pin and freeze it, that would be the shot. Not sure if the guard's getting in the way of that though. Looks a little fast. Joyce is starting to sweep. Bounce off. Just slides on the side of the net. Shot rock, but it's behind the tee line. Nose would have been ideal. Since they did have the steal. The freeze would have been better. This gives Red the chance to come in. Maybe tap that yellow one back is what it looks like. Don't want to do a lot of weight though. They want to keep their shooter around. Yellow shot. Good news is their red is still buried around. They do have a biter in the back. Yellow can choose the draw in here. Maybe sit top 8. Or they can put it higher in guard. If they guard, it gives Red the chance at a slash, maybe, if it's there. So I think top 8 might be the call. It's looking a little heavy. That yellow tap, which is not That's an interesting setup because I don't know if there is a double there on the yellows, so that might have been okay for him. It did give him something to freeze on for Red, but if they're trying to get more than one, they gotta look at that yellow on the side of the 4-foot. If they can hit that, hit that rollover in front of that red one, in front of the back yellow. They can move to the left and use the guard. button open, and now they have 2 on the sides and a biter. And that's going to force yellow to make a great play. So red is sitting all right here. Looks like he's coming in with control weight. Maybe board. Just enough to tap it out. Another hard sweep. Rolls in front of the yellow. It's going to be hard to take out that red one now. It might be hard to freeze on it too, just because of where the guards are placed on both sides. Looking back at the house. Looks like they know the shot though. It could also, it looks like they're going to try to come maybe top 8. That would, if they come top 8, they're giving red 1 at least. But stopping them from maybe getting 2, they'll always have that tap on the left side though. But at least they can guard the middle. They could come top 4 and be shot and make it hard for red to hit it out. It just depends on if they can get by these guards or not.
2, 3. Low in hand. Yep. Yep. That's good.
Top 8 blocking the draw path. Blocking a hit on their own red to hit out the yellow. Looks like they're looking at the double run back maybe. Or just peeling it out.
We see what this does. I think we throw a little more than 4.
Looks like they're looking at the hit and hold of the wing. This is Gabe's last shot. If he can hit this, they're sitting well for this thing, which is what they need. This looks like control. A little faster than he's been throwing.
Really hard.
They hit it just on the side. Not enough to remove it. But maybe enough to be sitting 2. I guess yellow has that one in the back still, so they're just sitting long. Yellow could just draw to the side of the 8 foot on the left, under the guards. Make it a hard shot to get 2. They could try the same shot they just did. That would probably be the best shot. Back on the top 8, top 4, blocking the draw path, forcing a hit. They seem pretty quick with the decision, so that's probably what they're going to go with, the same shot. This will be Joyce's last shot. Let's see what she can do. the last shot, putting it there. Looks like it's just a little to the side of the sheet to where they can maybe pop it through the hole. Gives red one if they're shot. Gives red the option for a hard shot to get to. If they think they're shot, they can probably draw to the button. They have to hit at least full four if they're shot. Looks like he's signaling for control weight.
I don't think you'll rush very much, throw very much. I think right there, right?
Looks like normal weight. They're not giving a lot of space for the curl. This is Christian's last shot. For one, maybe two. Oh, it's gonna be close. Definitely one. What a shot by Kirsten. Christian coming up big there. We'll have to see what they put on the scoreboard because they moved it too fast. It's a little too hard to see from here. Yeah. Either way, great end by red. Like I said, I think they just started slow the first end and now they're ready to rock and roll. Oh, I'm the same way. Sometimes I put up the score a little late. Just laziness on my part. Ah, Sheep B coming in with a great draw to the 4-foot to hit three. Kristen with her first shot. N3. Looks like it's pretty good weight. They're on and off. Gabe stops sweeping. Ah, it's just late. So he probably just stopped sweeping just to save his energy for the rest of the end. Gabe and Christian just securing one last end. It was still a fantastic shot by her to get one. Definitely had to move the Yellowstone. This one looks light too. Throwing both teams off. They probably thought it was just a little faster. But most of the rocks they played that end were on the other side of the sheet, so it makes sense that it's going to be slower out there. Maybe a little wide too. Looks like it ended with a lot of room to clear that guard. It's going to give Gabe a chance to come to the top button, freeze. Just because they're down points, I think they need to come to top four and be shot right here. If they come down and freeze, it's going to give yellow a chance to freeze on top. Deciding to come through the gap on the left side, it's probably just because he knows that line a little better. Looks like it needs some weight though. Just a touch short. It's in a tough spot. It's in a spot to where they could maybe tap it and it would get to button. But if they tap it, it could also go to the 4-foot. This gives yellow a chance to roll. And sit top button now. They're coming the other way. Both sweeping. They always have both sweeping. Kevin's dropped off. They don't want to nick the red one. Right by. Did tap the yellow one in the back a little bit. That's going to give red a chance to be offensive here and maybe steal one. If they can freeze one on that yellow, there's a good chance they're going to steal this end. The miss was definitely a little short there. Gabe coming up for his next shot. That's what they needed, just a little heavy. Tapped it back a little bit. This does give yellow, since they didn't freeze, a chance to tap it back also and sit in a phenomenal position. If they can tap it back to just back 8 and sit right where the red one is, right above it, that would be perfect. Kevin's rock's coming in. It looks a bit wide. It sits red's shot. This gives red a chance to draw into the button. They can also roll off that yellow one too if they're a little wide and roll in. This gives red another chance to steal. Both teams are getting chances. If Gabe hits a good one here, they're sitting well. Took a lot longer on this delivery. I think he really thought about this shot, which is good. That's what you want to do, especially when you're not being timed. It's a hard line. It looks like it's going to be tight. Oh, they didn't want to crash. This is going to give yellow another chance to be offensive. If they can get back and just freeze on that red one and be shot, it might be hard to get to this end. If they tap it back, that's going to give red a chance to tap and roll right over the forefoot, just thinking a little bit ahead. So they definitely just want to give a little freeze, maybe just a tiny tap. But they got to make sure they get one here and stay 3 ahead going into the next end. If red can get another steal here, they're going to have a lot of momentum going into the third end, which might mean it's a good time for Joyce and Kevin to do a power play. Looks like it's just draw weight. Looks like it's going to be close to a freeze. It's coming in a bit wide again. They still haven't found that exact line they need. Oh, and they bounced off their yellow. That works too. That's going to be a very hard one to remove. Red might need a setup shot just to get to it now. You can't ignore it just because it's late in the end. Red could also decide to just give yellow one, which I kind of like. Because it is going to be hard to get to the one they just threw. Red doesn't need to hit that back, to hit their own red and knock out that yellow. Since that yellow is behind the T line and theirs is above, that's a good spot for red. Corner freeze would be ideal here. It guards their red and sets them up for a hit on their next shot. But this is their last shot, so corner freeze is the best they can do here. Guard works too. If they had one more shot after this would be really good for them, but looks like just guard wait. 2, maybe 3. Just deciding to give yellow 1, which is okay. Gives them hammer again, gives them a chance to get their 2. Looks like there's no way in for yellow. They might decide just to throw this one away. They could try to promote the one on the far left, is what they're looking at. It looks like if they attempt this, there's not damage they can do. If it hits the red one, it's just going to shoot that one wide. If it hits anywhere on the yellow one, they could have the chance for 2. No matter how hard they hit it, though, it looks like it's going to jam on that back yellow one, so the most they can get here is 1, 2, or 3. It's an aggressive shot, but there's no draw. Looks like they're going to go for it. We're in for a treat. Doesn't need to be super heavy. It needs to be at least board. Board, control, or normal would do it. Control probably keeps the rock they're going to hit in play. Looks like control. Neither one of them sweeping it. Is it close? Just needed some sweeping. Where was the sweeper? Doubles makes it hard. I think both teams are happy with that. Yellow gets 1. They stay 3 ahead. Red only gave them 1. They get hammer back. So both teams are probably feeling a little confident after this end. That'll take it to the 4th. Christian and Gabe have decided to go with the power play just to get some momentum back. I always think the most interesting part of the power play is where you set the rocks, either on the left side of the sheet or the right side of the sheet. I usually take about 20 seconds to decide which side of the sheet, and I always pick the side that's going to be less curly. If you pick the straighter side, it's going to be a lot harder for people to hit that corner freeze if that's what they're going for on their first shot. It's a lot harder for people to wrap around the guard and sit on the rock that's inside the house to start. So that's why it's usually more important to pick which side it's going to be more straighter on. A lot of people that start and a lot of people that play just pick a side, whichever side, it doesn't matter. But to me, I always want to pick the straighter side just to make it harder for the opponents to come in. Looks like they're a little deep though, that's not what they wanted. This is going to set red up with whatever they want to do for their power play. They can. I always like wrapping around the guard. Put two on one side of the house. If they put another one on the other side of the house right now, that might be okay just because there's no guards up there right now that they're going to have to peel. So that could be okay too. Looks like that's what they're deciding. Looks a bit wide. It's coming. Ideally, they'd want to put this on the 8-foot, level it up with the other one, so right on the T-line, on the 8-foot, even the 12-foot would be okay. A lot of players will try to put it on that 4-foot and get too close to the center and clog it. This might be a little too close, but it's early days in this end, so a lot of play left. That rock probably won't stay there for long, but they're definitely sitting 2 now. So if no mistakes are made, red can definitely pull 2 out here, maybe more. Looks like they're going for a freeze because they can't hit yet. So they had to pick one of the rocks through these 2. Usually the center one's going to be a lot easier than these 2. It looks close. It's going to hit it back a little bit. It's perfect. It's a hard one to get out now. What I almost like here is just nosing the yellow one. They're going to keep their shooter. They're going to be sitting 2, and they're going to have 2 rocks above T-line, but it's going to take out the red and the yellow in the back. That's okay. Get 2 rocks in front of the T-line. So I'm a fan of taking both of them out. Looks like that's what they're going to do. They're giving ice for about control. It doesn't curl hard off the line for hits. So less ice here is the better. Game 3 on the board. It's just board again. Seems to be the way he likes his board. Needs to curl. He's not looking happy. It's wide. It's just hack. Just a little lighter than he probably wanted. With that broom, they should have had a strong board or control. This gives yellow the chance to mess up the power play for red if they can hit this right. It's looking like they could guard their yellow. They could also nose their yellow. I almost like the guard just because it's going to take red 1 to peel it off and then 2 to hit the yellow, so it's going to waste shots for them. Looks like they're looking at the hit though. If they guard, they could potentially steal one this hit. I have to talk to him about this later. See you at the hotel, Kevin. Looks like they're really thinking about this. Joyce is staring at it. She's debating. Looks like they're going to go with the hit. This could potentially lose their shooter. They could sit 2 if it hits the right spot. It'd be nice to keep the shooter right in the 8-foot, right in the 4-foot. And that's what they do. Since they're staggered a little bit. It gives Red the chance just to play that in-off double and sit two again. It's been kind of back and forth with that between getting two. They've been on the offensive this whole time, but now they gotta be a little defensive here and hit this double. It's important. It's a big shot for Gabe. The shooter's probably gonna roll up to the other side of the sheet if they hit this double.
More Tom and Thomas up here.
Just a little to the left. It's all about the spotty hits here. Decided they can actually hit this both ways. Hit the back one first or hit the top one first. Just depends on how the angles are there. They could also just nose the one in the middle right now. Oh, they've hit both. He just hit it a little too thin though. But it was just enough to take out all the stones. It would have been nice to hit that back one a little bit thicker just to keep that one in play. This gives Kevin and Joyce another chance to end their power play with a freeze to the red in the house. If they can hit this, it's going to be tough for yellow or for red to get more than one. If it's not there though, it gives a strong chance for the power play to still blow too.
Yes, that's still one ball. Right? Yeah. There it is. There you go.
Short here. Don't want to nick the guard. And they nicked it. That's going to guard the one on the ring. One on the wing. This gives red a chance to maybe a 2 or 3. With that red one secure. Another good shot for Gabe. Definitely wants to get in the rings here. Has to get into the rings. Can't be short. Doesn't want to set up a guard for yellow to come around. Looks like they're deciding to draw to the wing. Looks like they're going to not come down to the wing though. Looks like they're going to come closer to the center. Now that it's in the center, if they can actually bring it back a little bit farther, just off that T-line, they should be sweeping. Now it gives Joyce and Kevin the opportunity to freeze onto it. If they want to be aggressive or defensive, they could hit it out. Looks like they're going to go for the hit. If they go for the hit, they're going with the option to give red 2 for this power hit. This power play. Freeze gives them 1, it just whichever shot Joyce is feeling is more confident with here is what they should go with. The thrower knows best what they want to throw.
Do you prefer this turn?
Looks like she's feeling confident with the hit.
It's right here.
Kevin's actually going to come out and sweep this one. It's like he showed the spot for first aim. Hits don't curl a lot down the control weight and plus. We'll see what weight she decides to throw at it. Looks like it's close to board. Board plus. It's close to control. It's control. Gets it out, does its job. Would have been nice to stick around and force a hit for Christian. Now she has a draw. This will give her a good chance to find her draw weight again. It's never a bad time to have an open house draw, just to keep finding that throughout the game, just because it keeps changing. Most players that play doubles prefer the draws. Just has to hit the house. Easier said than done always when it's an open shot for two. So they're talking about it, just to find the right weight. Decides to do the out turn. Has no backing, so it has to be at the right speed. Looks like it's coming in a little fast. They could be going to nick off the yellow one. Looks let's slow down a little bit. There it goes.
Nice stroke. Now we rearrange something in the front.
Just back eight, perfect. Give your sweeper a little break by playing back eight. There you go. They're definitely picking up steam now. 3 to 4. Back to 3 to 4. Red's definitely caught up. Looks like they're coming down to freeze on. I need to get right past that red one. Just a little heavy. Gave red a pocket to sit in there. This is going to give them a good chance to be offensive again. Both teams are definitely getting chances to be offensive and defensive in this game. It's just going to come down to who can take advantage of those chances. Is who's going to win this game. Gabe's coming with his shot, looking for the freeze. Doesn't want to tap the yellow ones because if he can freeze on there, he's got good backing and it's stuck there. Doesn't want to move it. Looks like it's coming in a little heavy. The miss was definitely heavy to get in there. And it turned out alright. He's got one yellow behind his red. It's going to take 2 shots to get rid of that red one now. It's going to put Joyce and Kevin back into defensive mode. Even though they have hammer. Red's sitting really great with 2 rocks above T-line. Yellow has both theirs behind T-line. Looks like they might just be looking to peel the guard, open things up, make sure they get one. Sometimes in doubles that's okay. Just make sure you get one. Get some momentum back. They still have their power play. They shifted the red ones in there a little bit more and left a guard up to guard the reds. That's not good for yellow. Red's sitting really good now. Red could just put up a guard and take their one. Could still be early to do that. If they're playing a defensive game and just want to make sure they go into the next end tied, that's the strategy I'd probably go with right now. They have the right side of the sheet guarded now pretty nicely. They could also get a little offensive and draw to the button here and clog that up. That might be the better shot for them if they want to get ahead and play the offensive strategy here. We'll see what Gabe and Christian come up with. It's a little wide. She's pushing it. It's in a spot that's tempting. They've definitely guarded the draw now. Joyce and Kevin are looking at the 2 on the button. They're definitely going to have to make a play on one of the 2 if they're going to get shot rock at the end of this. Doubles moves fast. They could choose to do a setup shot here, or just go in and attack those 2 red ones. Their yellow one's not helping with it back there behind T. Looks like they're going for a heavy hit. She's got the ice very close to the rock. They might be able to hit one out and just move that back yellow one. They could do 2 things with 1 stone here. It's got to hit the right spot though. He's through the gap. Hits it, not enough to move it out though. Now red's sitting 2 and they can stay offensive. That might have opened it up on the right side, though, for yellow to hit those two stones out if they need to. Unless that guard's in the way. Red can choose to guard here or drop another one into the 8-foot. Block the draw path and be sitting 3. They've started to play more of the offensive shot, so we'll see what they come up with. Gabe coming through the hole. Looks like they are going to try to play top 8 and get third shot. Just a little short. It's still a great spot for them, especially if they just want to play the guard and play more defensive. Gives them a chance to tap it up too now that it's that close. Joyce and Kevin looked like they already knew what they wanted to do before that shot happened, which is keeps the game moving quicker. Red's definitely sitting good with 2 on the 4-foot. If they hit the red one on the right, it might jam on that back yellow one, which is not good for them. It also might drag past too, so it might be okay. It looks like it's a straight shot at it though. Looks like they're just gonna peel it out. If they peel this out, the thing it does is sets them up for the hit on the red, sets them up for the draw. The only problem is red can definitely just put it right back up and leave them in the same position. If they're going to peel, they need to make sure they're hitting this out and not leaving the shooter. It hits the red ones in, does peel off the guard, keeps one in the 12-foot. Red's sitting 3 now, and they can stay offensive. Red can definitely drop one right behind the yellow one into the top 4 and guard the top 4 and maybe get some more points out of this. If they draw behind the yellow one, it removes the yellow tap forward. It just depends on what shot they want to give Kevin and Joyce on their last rock. Do they want to give them a hit or do they want to give them a draw? This is Christian lining up in the hack. They're still debating it, which is good, just to make sure they're going to put this rock in the right position. This could be a rock that does change the end for the rest of the game. If they put it in the right spot, this could be the game-changing rock. I will say I have loved their uniforms. They got great uniforms. They're usually both wearing blue pants too, which is pretty cool too. And they got the blue shoes. They're on point. They tapped it a little bit, That did guard the. It guarded the hit. It's a harder hit if that's what they were going to try to do. The draw is gone now, so they are going to have to go with the tap. They could draw to give them one, or tap to maybe take one. Personally, I think they should go with the tap here. Switch the momentum. Go into the next end with 3-5. At some point, they are going to have to play a little more offensive. This might be the time to do it. If they're going for the tap, it just needs to be back 8 weight. They don't want to tap it past T-line. They're probably looking for back 8 weight. Maybe back 12. Actually, I'd probably go back 12 just because that yellow is sitting in the 12 foot, so it does need to be pushed quite a ways. They just need to hit half a rock. It is about where they hit it, but it's more about how heavy they're going to hit this yellow one, because red is sitting 3 right now, so this is a pressure shot. So they need the right weight here is key, more so than where they hit this yellow one. Looks close. They're sweeping all the way down. Just a little wide. They should have been curling it. Red's going to take 3 again. This might be a chance for yellow to use their power play. Change their momentum, make sure they get 1. It's never good to make sure you get 1, but sometimes you just got to change the swing of things. Christian and Gabe started slow for the first end, and now they've just been pushing through. Scoring a lot of 2s and 3s. Looks like Joyce and Kevin are going to go for the power play. Using it on the same side that Gabe and Christian used. That must be the side preference for both teams. I'd like to say it might be the straighter side too. Just because that's what I like. What do I know? Looks like they're going for a top 4 shot. That's the strategy I like to use. Let's see what Christian does.
When you hurt.
gives yellow a pocket to sit in and just attack it. Which could be good for both teams. If yellow chooses to sit on that red one, they're also creating a pocket for red to come in. This might be a good chance for yellow to look at that redstone on the side and give attention to it. Just hit it out. They hit that out. They're sitting above T-line. And if they hit that one red on the side of the sheet, they got to make sure to roll over a little bit, just so they're not creating a pocket. Slid past the guard. That's actually a great spot for yellow. Didn't create a pocket. They put another one on the side of the sheet, but they are going to have to look at those two red ones at some point. I guess gives red the chance to decide which direction to take this game for this moment. Hits. To yellow, we're going to get more draws now. Both teams could be in control depending on how they play out the next couple shots. Coming in with a heavy weight, looks like normal weight. Oh, they're by. It's not ideal. It's going to give Kevin and Joyce a great chance to be offensive during this power play now. They could hit this and 4 blocks in there. And one only red. They need to get a hit. Very nice. Like I said earlier, it's just going to take more advantage of their chances to be offensive during this game.
Good job. We don't throw first, right? Alright, so
That's good.
when you're designing that, where it should be crossed? Yeah. I mean, it's not a straight line. Here, okay. That makes sense? Yeah. Yeah. Let's look at
I totally forgot. I have no idea. Yellow definitely has a lot in the rings right now. If Yellow can go after this red one, roll to the back of the rings, maybe back 8. That'd be really good. Just so if they roll to the forefoot, it's gonna give red a chance to sit on it. So you be careful to attack with these reds where they roll. Definitely going for one on hit. Looks like on the back left one. Just a nice back weight, board weight hit. They don't want to flash it. It would be nice to at least move it. They at least moved it. Didn't keep their shoe, so. Might be okay. Not keeping their shoe, they're definitely doesn't give the opponents the red something to sit on. Red can nose this top yellow. They'd be choosing to give them 2 if they can hit this top yellow. So they tap that next to the side, which is what they're looking at. Yellow only has a shot from it. It would be an open draw too. So it just depends on what shot red wants to give yellow. They've been saying that a couple times during this game. Red's definitely been controlling how yellow ends their each end if they're drawing or hitting. So that's been a benefit for red. We'll see what Christian can come up with here, what she wants to give him.
Harder to make it that way. Really hard to make it. Yeah, I think, well, let's go. Nose is the word. How's that look? Start slow and small.
She's taking it into this throw. She wants to make sure she puts it in the right spot. Looks like they're going to go for the hit. Coming with a strong normal weight hit. Doesn't want to flash here. Doesn't want to miss. Looks like it's going to make contact. Rolls over. Wow. What a great shot. Red's now sitting 3 in the rings. It's a lonely yellow. Yellow's probably just got to draw to the button now. You have to hit the 8-foot. Christian and Gabe definitely came through on this power play that was put against them. What a great cross house. Double just to tap the second one. That was absolutely perfect.
Nice shot. Yeah. I did it, we know that.
Joyce needs a good draw here. She's done all she can now. Now it's up to Kevin. It's a little light, they're sweeping hard. It needs to be full 8. A lot of players forget they can be the front 8 and they can also be the back 8. Looks like they let off. Is it going to be a little heavy? Gabe's sweeping. Looks like it's just enough to be 1. Like I said, that back 8's very helpful. the power plays are done. As we go into the seventh end, some teams end up getting that eighth end in. A lot of games have ended at the seventh end just for not hitting the time. You're only given a certain amount of time to finish all your ends here. So this is where strategy of time can start to come into play. Do you only have time for one end or do you have time for two? This one looks a little wide. They haven't found that line over there yet, beating the guard by a lot. It's in a spot that's usable. They can slash it in, they can tap it in. They need to make sure they can get one here though and get a steal. Red choosing to go the same way. They have like that side of the sheet, it seems like both teams. It's going to take a little less ice. They end up both having to push the rocks. That one fooled both teams right there on that line. Just taking too much ice. Pushed yellow into the 8-foot. Not a good spot for the yellow rock though. It's out there on the wings now. Yellow needs to put one on the top 4, top button. They don't want to freeze. If they freeze, that's going to give red the opportunity to freeze and close this end with at least one. And if this is their last end, then that would be it. Ice has been good on B. It's been about 15 seconds to hog. 15 seconds from hog to hog, just a button. Missed the guard. Need it to be top 4, top button. There it is. That rock's going to be stuck there. That's going to be a hard one to get to. If they do have enough time for another end, this would be a great chance for red to give yellow just one and go into the last end with hammer if that's what they want. Some teams like hammer for doubles and some don't. I always think you have a better shot if you have hammer for the last end in doubles. Looks like they're going for a heavyweight peel, run back. Peeled off the guard. Almost hit the hack on the other sheet. Heavyweight. Open things up. Now the shot rock's definitely visible, which is good for red. Forces yellow to put up another good guard. They could also come in and just hit that yellow now and be sitting 3 in the house. Looks like it's just T-line weight, maybe a little lighter. Just a 3 guard, 2 guard. There is enough swing on this side of the sheet for red to corner freeze that yellow on the button now. Or they could come through the hole and just nick it out. And force yellow to come in and hit that. It's a great time to think 3 shots ahead right now with how it's set up. Looks like they're going to come in for the hit and just nick that yellow one out. It's got to be a precise shot. They don't want to hit their own out here. This is going to be all about where they hit that yellow one. Doesn't need a lot of weight. Just trying to push it. This has been the side of the sheet that's not curling a lot. That's not ideal for red, leaving 2 yellows in there. And 1 yellow is above T-line. Yellow's sitting 2. Yellow definitely has the advantage, and they're going on the offense now. They have the power. There's a lot of guards up. Yellow's sitting 2. Red has both theirs behind T-line. Red still has a crosshouse double on those yellows, though, which is dangerous. So they really need to put this yellow in a spot that's at least going to give them shot if they try to go after that crosshouse double. They also don't want red to hit and roll on that back 4 yellow. Red's definitely got a couple shots they can line up. Just by the guard. Looks a little heavy. That gives a pocket for red to sit into. They can go after the double. They could come down and freeze on top of that yellow one. They could also draw in. They have about 3 shots they could choose from here, which is what you want coming into the last end or last two ends. Just depends on what shot they're feeling comfortable with right now. Need to make this shot really well since yellow's sitting 3. Red has a lot of options though. Can't nick a guard. That'd be... Oh, and they just hit the guard. It's not what they needed right there. It's going to give yellow a great chance to keep being offensive, make this next shot above T-line. Still looks like that crosshouse double might be there for red to get in there, to hit 2 yellows out and be shot. Yellow could guard the middle and take at least 2 out of this end and force red to make a great shot. That's definitely the easier shots to hit down the middle, so that might be what they want to guard. If they're going to guard, maybe just make it a 2 guard. It doesn't need to be deep, and it can't be just because of where the other guards are placed. So if they're going for a guard, they're looking for a 2 guard. Looks like they might be trying to draw in too. The miss would be short just to block that double. They don't want to slide through. They don't want to be deep and give red a chance to sit on it. The miss is definitely short. Looks like they're going for the guard. It's in a great spot too. Clogs the hole. It's going to force red to make a great shot here. Yellow's got the swing again of things. Putting the pressure on red. Red's had the momentum for the past few ends. Or yellow, yeah. Gabe needs a shot here that's going to set Christian up with a shot for her. Especially, we still don't know if this will be the last end or if they'll have one more. The time's definitely crunching down. They need to throw the last rock before the time limit's up, otherwise the game will be over. And people have been great about here. If you've missed it by 20 seconds, they allow for that last end to happen, so you don't have to rush your last shot, which is great. So it's good everyone's on the same page. That might be something they're talking about now, how much time they have left. Something's going on out there. It's definitely, they're either talking about time or how much rocks have been played. A lot of the teams out here have been using hair ties to mark down which rocks not to throw, so you definitely know. Looks like the ref's going to go out there. Make sure everything's straightened out. It's always a great game when you got a close game and the ref's going out. Anything could happen here. The ref's either going out to make sure they've thrown the right stones and to make sure they're going to hit the right time. If they're past time now, it's too late to keep going. If they have a minute left, they definitely have enough time to throw that last rock to play the next end. They might be discussing now if they're going to play the next end now. That would be the safe call for both teams. Looks like a fist bump. Usually that means the game's ended. The ref's still out there now. We'll see what Brady, the ref, says. Come on, Brady, give us the details. It's a long discussion with the team out of 4 seasons. Looks like the 4 seasons team has the information from the ref and they're going to go let the Denver team know. They've definitely wasted a lot of time, so time's definitely probably wrong. Is out of time now. But it was a lot of talk from both teams. So the question is now if they're going to play one more end or 2. That's going to change how they play this end right here. I wish I could tell you, but there's a lot of glass in my way from hearing. Oh, the dramatics. This is the second time Kevin and Joyce have had a time constraint talk with another team. I'm going to have to give them some jokes about that. Oh, is that what happened? Looks like the wrong color of stones were thrown. As an announcer, I should have caught that. Whoops. I can't do it all, folks. It hit both yellows out. Red rolls to the side. Red is shot. That was a phenomenal shot by Christian. Looks like that gives Red a point. Or they might have had the colors mixed up there. We'll see. Yeah, just wait for the score. Yeah, it looks like definitely Christian and Gabe came up with 1 point there, and it looks like they are going to play the last end. Just because of the ref coming out and having to stop time. Yeah, the ice maker gets mad. Now they gotta wait to do the ice. I will say, I love how Charlotte does their ice out here. They have 3 different volunteers working on the ice all at the same time. 1 putting down pebble, 1 nipping, and 1 sweeping. It's definitely something we gotta take back to Denver. It's super efficient. Well, if you're wondering why I don't have a North Carolina accent, that's because I'm from Denver. Yup, we're the Johnson and Smith team. Oh, you're from Lakewood. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Lakewood, yeah. A lot of people are from Denver out here. Charlotte's just got a bunch of people that were born in different states. Yeah.
So, yeah. I almost left out of you.
I'm in trouble.
So more dramatics for this game. Whoever wins this game is going to the playoffs. Whoever loses is going to have to fight their way the rest of the day to make it to the playoff round on Monday tomorrow. So this is an important game for both teams. Just because if Kevin and Joyce win this, I think it goes head to head. So it's going to come down to who wins this game. We'll definitely have a spot in playoffs and come out with a cash prize. Christian and Gabe haven't lost a game yet. Cameron and Joyce have lost one. Two strong teams in the bracket. Yellow definitely needs to get two here if they're going to take this into an extra end. Oh, the more dramatics there could be. Red's sitting really nice with one just on the top of the button. They have two buttons up there. Red is sitting really nice right here. If they can put this right 8 foot, they're going to be sitting well off, yo. That's going to make it extremely hard for Yellow to come back and get to this end. That could have been the shot to do it for Red.
Yeah, when we're sitting one. I know. They have to deal with that wrong.
Yellow's now got to find a way to set themselves up to get two. They need to find a way to get to that button shot. There's not going to be a shot now, so they need a setup shot. This looks like it's going to be a shot. It needs to corner freeze the red one and have it at an angle to where it's not going to hit the back yellow, and that's what they do. Great shot by Kevin. That's the shot they needed. If Red can just guard this now, or even corner freeze the yellow one. They could even freeze it on the top of it. The miss will be short. Red's guarded their button shot on the right side of the sheet, so now they just have to worry about the left side of the sheet. Yellow's set up to get their two now, so Red needs to go on the defensive and had some commotion in the warm room. It sounds like some Star Wars. Alright, the miss is light here for Red. Looks like it's going to be light. Guard, a freeze works. Looks like they're going to have the guard. So Yellow's going to have to peel that out. Or if they can get to the shot, if they can hit their own yellow now, if there's a big enough gap there, that was the time to do it. Before Red puts up another guard. You might as well try for it. If you nick the guard, then you get a second shot at it. Forces them to put the guard back up. It's just a great time for Yellow to go after their own yellow and sit three. Just have to make sure they're not setting up red for another shot at it to hit 2 of their stones out. It's a numbers game now. If red can get enough stones out, they have the automatic win or go into playoffs. Like they're going for the hit. It looks like it's just hack weight. Just a light hit. Needs to be enough to move that red one back to the back 8 foot. Maybe even the back 12 foot. Nick the guard. They nick the guard. That's okay. Makes red have to put another good shot up. Now red doesn't want to freeze to the yellow stone. Red wants to put up a guard that's top 12, 3 guard, 2 guards okay. I personally think the 2 guard's underrated, so I'd put up the 2 guard. Just make sure that they can't come in and hit that yellow stone, and it makes sure they can't run it back either. None of the run backs are set up. So if they can put this as a 2 guard, that would be ideal. Looks like it's a little heavy. Looks like it's going to end up in the same spot it just was. Maybe a little lighter. They're sweeping for line. If they can get a bounce, that might be better for them. Guarded just enough. I'm not sure if yellow can make a play on their own yellow to sit 2. They might need to just peel out some of the front ones. Yeah. If they peel out, they gotta make sure their shooter leaves 2. It's gonna force red to play more guards. Doesn't hurt. If they need to decide now though if they're gonna make a play on that yellow or just peel out the guards. Coming out with a lot heavier weight now. Looks like it could be a peel. Perfect peel. Gets 2 reds out, moves the yellow over just enough. Red needs the perfect shot here. Perfect guard. Looks like they're gonna go for top 12. That might be too close. If it's top 12, they're gonna give them a chance to run back that red one. I think shots that are underrated, I'm gonna say it again, is the 2 guard. If they place a high enough guard, it's not. The run back's gonna be nearly impossible. If they get it too close to that yellow rock, though, it's going to give them a chance to run it back. We do know no matter what, this is going to leave yellow with a hit for their last shot. So these will be the last 2 most important shots right here for if we go to an extra end or not. If she places the perfect guard, they're going to the playoffs. All eyes are on Kristen. Looks a little heavy for a guard. Looks like they might be coming in. Looks like it might be... He's not sweeping. Gabe's let off. Looks close. Might overcurl, might get too close. It sets him up for the run back. Gabe's a little nervous. Goes above the head. This gives Joyce a chance to make a shot for the win and take them to playoffs. If it goes head to head. This is what we came to see. If they can hit it, all my fault. If they hit this, they're going into an extra end. So this is a hit to go to the extra end, hopefully for yellow. It's gonna make the ice cream more mad. It's an important shot for Joyce.
But to get 2, there's no shot.
So you can take this to an extra end. Red is going to have hammer. So that's going to give Red the advantage. But they have to hit this run back. And keep their yellow in the 4-foot. So it can't be too heavy of a run back. Looks like they went with control weight. Might be a touch too much. Touch wide. He's pushing it. Needs to curl. Not enough. Red is going to the playoffs. Congratulations, Gabe and Christian. Out of 4 seasons. Thanks for watching. I'm DJ Johnson, checking out of Denver Curling.